Good evening and welcome to the January 10, 2022 meeting of the Arlington County Planning Commission. I am Daniel Weir, the Commission Chair. This is our one meeting for this month. We will be dealing entirely with organizational matters for the Commission and starting with a breakout into a closed session. Some initial comments for the safety of staff and residents. For the record, we're holding this meeting virtually. Welcome to commissioners, county staff, applicants. There are no applicants tonight, and anyone else who may be joining or may join us remotely. And we're legally authorized to hold this virtual meeting based on the governor's executive orders, legislation adopted by the Virginia General Assembly, and the County Board's Continuity of Operations Ordinance adopted March 2020. Some specifics that I will gloss quickly over and may revisit when we come back out of the closed session. Tonight's meeting is available as a broadcast with closed captioning on Comcast Xfinity channels 25 and 1085, Verizon Fios channels 39 and 40 on the county website. Audio of tonight's meeting is available via phone. If commissioners, presenters, or speakers lose internet connectivity during the meeting, please reconnect with us by phone. I understand that you can use the number provided in the Teams invite. And registered speakers, there are none, have Ms. Johnson's telephone number. Further, when you are called upon to speak, you must unmute yourself by clicking on the microphone icon that is located on your meeting command bar. The moderator does not have the ability to unmute you. If you're dialing in by phone, press *6 to unmute. Commissioners, if you wish to be recognized to speak, please use the hand raise function or turn on your video, unmute your microphone to signal your interest, and I'll call upon you in order. The meeting chat, a reminder to all, is active for presenters and commissioners who need technical assistance only. Please do not use the meeting chat for discussion, public comment, questions about agenda items, etc. And lastly, please remember that this is a public forum and tonight's meeting will be recorded and posted to the county website. All information associated with tonight's meeting, whether written or spoken, is subject to Virginia Freedom of Information Act requirements. I am going to open tonight's meeting unless there is any objection with a motion to reconvene in closed session. Give me just a moment. My computer is acting up. Apologies for the delay. Do it this way. I move that the Planning Commission convene a closed meeting as authorized by Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711.a.8 for the purpose of consultation with the county attorney concerning 1, the requirements of Freedom of Information Act for meetings and the disclosure of public records. 2, requirements applicable to Planning Commission under the State and Local Government Conflict of Interests Act and Public Records Act. And 3, the statutory bases for the county's comprehensive planning process and special exception site plan process, permitted considerations relevant to these processes, and the Planning Commission's roles and responsibilities in them. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Lantelmi. I am going to go through a voice vote. So to start, I'll call each name twice if the person isn't here, and then I'll move on. Commissioner Schroll.
Aye.
Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Gearin.
Aye.
Commissioner Morton. Commissioner Morton. Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Steinberger.
Aye.
Commissioner Bagley.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterson.
Aye.
Commissioner Sarli. Commissioner Sarli. Commissioner Lantelmi.
Aye.
Thank you. And I vote aye as well. With that, I believe that we are recessed and will reconvene in closed session using the appropriately provided Teams link. Ms. Johnson or Mr. Pfeiffer, anything to add before we switch over?
No,
Talk to you all momentarily.
thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to this evening's meeting of the Planning Commission. I move that the members of the Planning Commission certify, one, that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under Chapter 37, Title 2.2 of the Code of Virginia were discussed during the closed session, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the commission. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Schroll. And I am going to go through the roll again. I will call each person's name twice before proceeding to the next person in case anyone is absent. Commissioner Schroll.
Aye.
Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Guerin.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Morton. Commissioner Morton. Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Steinberger.
Yep. Aye.
Commissioner Bagley.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterson.
Aye.
Commissioner Sarli. Commissioner Sarli. Commissioner Lantelmi.
Aye.
And I vote aye. That brings us formally back into session. If I am correct, the next order of business is approval of the minutes of the November 30 and December 1 Planning Commission meetings. Unless I am mistaken or something else needs to be addressed first, can I get a motion to adopt the minutes of the November 30 Commission meeting?
I so move.
Commissioner Lantelmi, is there a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Guerin, and without objection, then the record will state that they're adopted by acclamation, unless there are any abstentions. I'm sorry, I should ask first.
Commissioner Weir, I actually abstain. This is Commissioner Patel.
Okay.
Oh, wait, was that the December? I'm sorry. I'm
November
one
30.
ahead. I'm sorry. I'm one ahead.
That was November 30.
I believe Commissioner Guerin should be abstaining.
I abstained, I think, on the second meeting.
Was it the second meeting?
Commissioner Guerin, yours is November 30th. You were absent on November 30th.
Thank you,
Correct.
Devanshi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Devanshi. I knew I wasn't losing it.
So with
Can't second it?
that's probably correct. That's probably
Sorry.
so
I'll second it.
thank you. So the valid second is by Commissioner Peterson.
Thank
With the abstention of Commissioner Guerin, without objection, the minutes are deemed adopted. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes of the December 1 meeting?
I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Lantelmi. Is there a second?
I'll second again.
Thank you, Commissioner Peterson. Does anyone other than Commissioners Patel and Steinberger wish to abstain? So with the abstention of Commissioners Patel and Steinberger, without objection, the minutes are deemed adopted by acclamation. The second item of business on our agenda then is staff report on current matters. Mr. Fusarelli, if you are still with us, or Mr. Pfeiffer, if either of you have anything that you want to cover, we would be grateful to hear it.
Thank you, Chair Weir, and good evening again, Commissioners. I will quickly turn it over to Mr. Pfeiffer if he has anything to add, but I did want to just raise for everyone's awareness, we have a County Board and Planning Commission work session scheduled on the Planning Division work program. That is scheduled for February 8th at 3 p.m. So we will be following up. That meeting had just been scheduled within the past few days. So we look forward to following up with more information, both in terms of the logistics of that meeting, as well as the materials that will be developed in advance and preparation for that conversation. So just wanted to note that for everyone's awareness, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I only have one very brief update for you, just regarding some staffing in the planning division. I don't think I mentioned this at the previous meeting, but current planning staffer Anika Chowdhury has accepted a position with the comprehensive planning team. So she, as of the first of the year, has transferred over to that team and will be working under Kelly Brown. And the vacant associate planner position will be filled shortly on the current planning team. And that's all I have this month. Thank you.
Thank you both. It looks like we have a question from Commissioner Schroll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A question for Mr. Fusarelli, if I might. Mr. Fusarelli, you mentioned the meeting with the Planning Commission and the County Board, 3 p.m. on the 8th. Is that the normal budget work session, or is that the kind of what usually the Planning Commission meets twice with the County Board in the course of a year? The chair and vice chair have a budget work session with the board, and then there's sometimes a subsequent session that takes place during a normal Planning Commission meeting or around that time, and is attended by the rest of the commission. I'm wondering if you could speak to kind of where this falls.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. This is the latter, meaning it is getting us back on our regular cycle for the planning division work program conversations with the board. Typically, every year, but for the last couple of years, because of COVID, those meetings typically happen between the January and March timeframe. And part of the rationale for that is it helps allow for a conversation and awareness about the priority projects that the planning division is looking at in the year ahead. And then from a timing perspective, it allows that conversation to factor into the subsequent budget discussions that ultimately lead up to a county board action in April. So this conversation would be very similar to the September conversation from 2021. And in fact, since that was just about 4 months ago, I would expect that we'll have certain updates, but a lot of the material and information will be consistent with what we shared back in the early fall. But that will be sort of the nature of that conversation on the 8th, and then presumably the work session on the budget considerations would be scheduled for a separate date and time.
Thank you, Mr. Fusarelli. Just one quick update, and if I might, Mr. Chairman, one quick question. So based on what you just provided, Mr. Fusarelli, which I certainly appreciate, would staff be in a position to share any of the updates to your presentation from fall last year in advance of that meeting for the planning commissioners who were able to attend it? I'm certain that we'll be represented by Chair Weir and Vice Chair Patel, but I think it would be helpful if there are any things that could come out of that conversation with the board, if we're able to kind of know where staff is going or what has changed in the past several months, that would be useful to share with the commission.
Yep, no, I appreciate that question as well. And actually in the next couple of days or so, I'll be following up with the Planning Commission leadership to discuss the most optimal way to not only share that information with the Planning Commission before the February 8th meeting, but also determining the best way in which to solicit or facilitate a conversation or any feedback. So I think that's been common practice in the past, and so we will, we've got just under a month to work through the details of how we can share pertinent updates from the September materials, allow for the commission to consider and consider providing feedback to staff before or the board before the February 8th meeting. So thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions before we move on to committee reports? I don't see any hands, so we will move along to committee reports. And I am very pleased with the people who have generously agreed to chair the different committees for everyone's benefit. I'll just go over it now. Commissioner Peterson has agreed to chair the Site Plan Review Committee. Commissioner Lantelmi has agreed to chair the Long Range Planning Committee. The Zoning Committee will be co-chaired by Commissioner Patel and Commissioner Sarli. My understanding is that Commissioner Steinberger will be reappointed as chair of the Public Facilities Review Committee. And I expect that Commissioner Hughes is going to continue as the primary representative from the OG. We keep the Pentagon City PDSP on our committee reports. Commissioner Siegel isn't here tonight, or former Commissioner Siegel isn't here tonight. So I will go first to Commissioner Peterson for any update on the Site Plan Review Committee.
Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to lead this committee this year. I look forward to it. We have a number of projects that are going on right now, as well as a couple that are in the preliminary review process and should be starting soon. So we have Marbella, which is being run by Commissioner Morton. We have Penn Place, which you all know that I'm running. The Wendy's site, which Commissioner Sarli is running. Ballston Mall, Macy's, The Haven, that is being run by Commissioner Lantelmi. Crystal Plaza 5 will be run by Commissioner Schroll. UCMUD, which is not quite an SPRC, but I've got it on my list, will be run by Commissioner Bagley. And Commissioner Bagley has also agreed to do the Roslyn Xerox project. The Roslyn Xerox project should be getting started in the next month or so. And then we also have coming up very soon the Ballston Holiday Inn project, and I will be looking for a chair for that project. So please keep an eye on your email if anyone's interested in doing that. Please reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll look at who isn't in charge of a project currently. We've got so much going on, and we do have a lot of other projects in the pipeline. So as you know, as has been the case for the last couple of years, there's going to be a lot going on. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10 or 12 projects that should be coming in the next like 4 to 6 months. As sometimes things get delayed a little bit, so we'll see. But so stay tuned. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I should have also noted that I believe Commissioner Lantelmi is going to be continuing on as our dual appointee to the Transportation Commission. That's another one of these things that is strictly controlled by the county board, and I'm happy that he'll be continuing in that role. But going to then speaking of Commissioner Lantelmi, let me go to you for the Long Range Planning Committee report.
Sure. First of all, I am expecting to be meeting with Mr. Murphy so he can go through the full prospectus as what will be coming up this year. But right now we do have the special glove study for the Courthouse West. Right now the public, actually that closed last night, did it, Commissioner Bagley? And then we'll be scheduling LRPC meetings for that. But right now, that's the one active thing that I'm aware of. Like I said, I am trying to get a meeting, or we are trying to schedule a meeting with Mr. Murphy to go through what is on the horizon for LRPC. So that's it for right now.
Thank you. We'll go over to Commissioner Patel for the Zoning Committee.
So the biggest update, I guess, for zoning is that Commissioner Sarli is going to be serving as co-chair of this committee. So we are looking at actually firming up a schedule for ZOCO. There was no ZOCO meeting, obviously, for this month, but we will keep everybody apprised of what's on the horizon. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Patel. Commissioner Steinberger, PFRC.
Thank you. Let me see if my camera will work. Last time I had to do this, it misbehaved. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so PFRC excited to be back for another year. We're jumping in, getting things going pretty quickly with the return of the Career Center. Came around once, didn't quite happen, and it is coming back again. We're hitting the ground running. We've already had some preliminary meetings about that. The agenda schedule, I believe, is maybe still being finalized, but we'll have a meeting towards the end of this month. So stay tuned for an email about that. I think it might be like January 25th. And as that gets fine-tuned, I will be reaching out to let you all know. Joining me at this point is Commissioner Begley, who will be joining the PFRC this year. And we are still hoping to have I think we need to have another member of the commission join or stay on. I know Commissioner Peterson, you had been on there. I understand as SPRC chair, you may or may not have that capacity right now, so let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Steinberger and Commissioner Bagley. I'm really happy to hear that you're going to be working in that role as well. Then Commissioner Hughes is not here. If there's anyone who knows of anything that they want to speak up about for the OG, we're happy to hear it. But I think that we will continue on to just a note about the Pentagon City PDSP. Commissioner Siegel sent me an email saying that for tonight, please tell the Planning Commission that a fourth draft of the plan will be coming out on January 24th, along with a full comment matrix. That brings me to my report, and I will just say that I am delighted to be able to serve the commission and you all in this role, and thank you again for your confidence in me. I hope that we all are able to feel like we have gotten something out of each meeting, and hopefully feel at some point like we have left the county a better place than we found it. The first matter of official business in my report is the 2021 annual draft, and I am going to defer to Commissioner Lantelmi, but I believe is it possible to pull that up on the screen? Maybe it can be shared by Commissioner Lantelmi. If not, we can just scroll it along if he needs to.
Yeah, I don't have it, so I can put it up on the screen. Ms. Johnson, if you can get that up, I'd really appreciate it.
I know you would. Give me just one moment, and I'll share my screen.
Great. Is that the one that has my edits in it?
It most certainly should.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, and certainly to other commissioners, as we go through this, there are things that I think should be added in. A number of our SPRCs this year were co-chaired, and I want to be sure that that is reflected in this report. So please, if you note those that are co-chaired, that the co-chair is missing, please add your name to that, or make sure we know that it has to be added in. I think this is a really good innovation that we've done, that we're doing more of these, and I want to make sure that's reflected in the report. We also, I think, needed to add that both Commissioner Weir and Commissioner Patel co-chaired ZOCO last year. That should be added in if it hadn't made it in already.
Where about are you speaking, Commissioner Lantelli?
Where we're talking about the various committees. It should mention that they co-chaired.
Okay.
And I think I might have added that in. It should come up on the edits, but I just wanted to mention it to make sure that it does get in there.
Okay.
And other commissioners, please do go through, because there's a lot in this. We had a lot that we were doing last year. And it's possible that all of the eyeballs that have seen it so far could very well have inadvertently skipped over something, or have a wrong number in something, or something slightly mischaracterized. That's why I'd like to have everybody else do take a look at it, because you know the work you did more than anybody else. So do check on that. I know I in the past have inadvertently mischaracterized something in a memo. So please do that if you can find it. Toward the end, let's see, if you go down toward the very end, I did add what I think we've had to do in other reports is, again, a reminder to the county about the Army-Navy Drive easement, that access that will be getting. It is now in the CIP. I may have misspelled out what the CIP is, but that was, I did try to put that in too. Yeah, I don't see that in here, Ms. Johnson. I tried to put that in after the Pentagon City Planning Study. Again, mentioning about how that is coming through, a reminder that we're watching it and want to make sure it actually does happen, because we are coming up toward the deadline for exercising our right to take that.
Okay.
To get that easement in there. So yeah, there are actually a number of things that do have to go through. So again, all of you, please do read through this. Send your edits to me and to Ms. Johnson, so we can wrap it up.
There'll be a finalized copy after you all send in your revisions at the next meeting that you can discuss under other business.
I will circulate around mine that has my comments on it.
Okay.
To make sure that does get around.
Sure.
I saw 2 hands go up. They probably were going to ask the process question, because it looks like they've both come down. But Commissioner Peterson and Commissioner Schroll.
I just had an addition to add, so I'll just email it to Commissioner Lantelmi.
Ms. Johnson answered my procedural question.
Great, thank you.
Okay, that's it for me for our annual report.
Thank you, Commissioner Lantelmi, and thank you again for the fantastic year that that we had as a commission under your chairmanship, and I am grateful for the year that it was. It would have been nice to have been back in person, but maybe Givenchy will be saying the same thing next year. I don't know. Hopefully not. So the adoption of the Planning Commission hearing schedule for 2022. Ms. Johnson, would you? I can pull that up probably, unless you would prefer to control it yourself.
Sure, I have it.
Okay. And I believe that the 2 things that need to be done are a motion to adopt the schedule, and then also to divvy up the representative, the PC representative dates. Is that correct?
That is correct. So let me pull that particular one up first, and then we can get these names filled in.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question about the schedule, and maybe I'm just not remembering this, Commissioner Steinberger. Why is there like a grayed out part covering part of March?
Because that's for the budget and tax hearing with the county board only. That doesn't involve planning commission. It's just an FYI. as
Oh,
a
that's
county
an
board
FYI.
date.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yes.
clarify. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
So do we probably, I think probably the first order of business would be just to adopt the schedule. Is that, do you agree, Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
So I would entertain a motion to adopt the schedule as circulated and displayed.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move adoption of the Planning Commission schedule for calendar year 2022 as shown on the screen as shared by Ms. Johnson.
Do you want to seek unanimous consent for that
Okay.
motion?
Yeah, I'll seek UC.
And Commissioner Gearin with the second.
Yeah.
Any objection? Without objection, the schedule is adopted. Thank you all. So the next order of business then is just to identify some times. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in order of seniority for those present, noting that I have had 2 requests so far for a schedule, and that is from Commissioner Gearin, I believe, from March, and from Commissioner Peterson for September. Is that correct, Commissioner Peterson?
September or October, whichever is more convenient for everyone else.
Okay, so if anyone would prefer to have those dates, get out your phone and send Commissioner Gearin or Peterson a text message by the time it gets to them. And work it out amongst yourselves. Typically, the chair is the PC rep on the 22nd and 25th. So, Ms. Johnson, for now, just please put my name in for that. You and I have spoken about a logistical concern that we will get addressed one way or the other. Then the next person is Commissioner Hughes, who is absent. We will send him the list of options, and then Commissioner Schroll.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can I go with let me go with February.
Thank you, Commissioner Gearin. We can formalize. We can put March in amber for you. Commissioner
I
Lantelmi.
appreciate that. Unless someone else really, really needs it, it works best for my schedule. Thank you.
You're next, so we can treat you as having chosen it. Commissioner Lantelmi.
Yeah, I'll do April.
Thank you. Commissioner Patel, I'm going to you first because we'll treat your being vice chair as the tiebreaker.
I'll choose October.
Thank you. Commissioner Steinberger.
So what's been taken?
What's available is May, June, July, November, and December.
Not April?
April has been taken.
Who took April?
Commissioner Lantelmi.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Did you send me something that I missed or forgot?
No, I'm running into logistics. June through September, I can't do, and November will be challenging. So.
Would you be able to do December?
Maybe. It sounds
May
like
is
May is still available.
May.
I'm checking those dates now. Thank you. Hold 1 second. Yeah, and are we expecting that those will still be virtual?
I think we've been told that if there's a change, we'll be given at least 30 days notice.
Okay, I'll take May with the understanding I may have to be virtual no matter what.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this is always, I mean, these things change over time, and sometimes I've had to ask people to pinch in for me, I think once or twice, and others have as well. So, we want to get someone assigned.
No, of course, and apologies for the complicated schedule.
Don't worry about it. Commissioner Bagley.
I can do December.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson.
I'll take September, please.
Oh, so we are formalizing that. Okay, so Commissioner Hughes and Sarli will then choose between November, July, or June. We may get. It's my hope that we will have an 11th commissioner, to replace, for lack of a better word, the departures, to fill in the vacancies or departures of following the departures of Commissioner Siegel and Commissioner Morton. Commissioner Morton has not formally resigned yet, but isn't with us tonight and isn't signing up because she isn't going to be on the commission for much longer. And we can fill then in with one of these ones that's later in the calendar too, hopefully. Then we will go to Ms. Johnson, we don't need to have a motion to adopt the rep schedule. It's enough to have people signed up. Is that correct?
That is correct. We do not.
Okay. So thank you for that. Then I believe that the next order of business is the representative assignments for the committee and liaison assignments. And so I don't know that it behooves us to put a copy of that on the screen because it's a several-page document. Is there anyone who doesn't have the file in front of them or isn't going to be able to get the file in front of them within the next few moments? So we will go through it in the way that we traditionally have, and just sort of going in order by seniority until everything's filled or until everyone passes in a row. And we'll start then with you, Commissioner Schroll.
C2E2.
Thank you. Commissioner Gearin.
Forestry and natural resources.
Thank you. Going to me, I will choose NAOP again. Commissioner Lantelmi.
Yeah, I will stay with the Lee Highway, now Langston Boulevard process.
Lee Highway, the Langston Boulevard study.
Right.
All right.
It's called Langston Boulevard.
Yes. Commissioner Patel.
Arts Commission.
Thank you. Commissioner Steinberger.
HLRB. Thank you.
Second. I'm trying to, as I record these, I'm also trying to produce a shorter version that we can put up on the screen when we start getting to stuff being filled up. Commissioner Bagley.
Park and Rec.
Park and Rec. Bagley. Commissioner Peterson.
Emergency preparedness.
you. Back to Commissioner Schroll.
Pass.
Commissioner Girin.
Well, I really wanted Commissioner Bagley to take CCCRC, but if she doesn't want it, I'll take that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, this is Commissioner Bagley. I can take that one if you, yeah.
I think you have a lot to offer it. So, okay, let me take a look through the whole list then and see what's.
All right, when it comes back around to me, I'll do that.
Oh, how about Crystal City bid? National Landing bid, whatever we're calling it now.
Oh, I had my eye on that. That's in jest. I'm pleased for you to take that.
I don't care, if you want it, I'll pick something else.
But it means that I have to.
I'll pick anything else.
I'm gonna do EDC. Then, Commissioner Lantelmi.
I'll pass.
Commissioner Patel.
I will pass.
Did I hear anyone say Roslyn bid that I missed? No. Okay. Commissioner Steinberger.
I'll do Lee Highway Alliance.
No, I already took that one. Sorry.
Commissioner Lantelmi has that one.
Sorry, you have Lee Highway Alliance already? I thought you had a different.
No, it'll now be called Langston Boulevard Alliance. So
There's actually two different Lee Highway elements.
Highway study.
Then definitely. Yeah, then definitely take that. I'm doing the plan Langston Boulevard. So yeah, definitely do that. Great. I think that'll work well.
So the Alliance is Commissioner Steinberger?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
And the study is Commissioner
Lantelmi.
Right.
Yeah. Lantelmi. Which I imagine the Alliance is now I actually think I get their emails. I think they haven't quite renamed themselves unless it's officially
They have.
Highway or.
No, it's been renamed. It's now officially.
No, I know the Highway has. I think the Alliance was looking for a rename.
No, I'm on the board of it. It's been changed.
And they have. Okay, apologies. I'll take it anyway.
The Langston Boulevard Alliance.
Taking it. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Bagley.
CCCRC, it is, per Elizabeth.
CCRC is Commissioner Bagley. And Commissioner Girin, you had switched to, even though I joked about it, it took me a while to remember, you had switched to National Landing bid. Is that correct?
Yeah, but Daniel, if you want that, I'm happy to take something else.
I have been wanting to do EDC for years, and so I'm happy to finally not get beaten to it. Okay. So CCCRC to Commissioner Bagley, Commissioner Peterson.
Pass.
Back to Commissioner Schroll.
National Capital Planning Commission.
Thank you. Back to Commissioner Girin.
I'll take the Public Space Implementation Advisory Committee.
And it looks like there are spaces for 2 commissioners.
Okay. Okay, no, I don't think that's actually true. What happened was when I joined Planning Commission, I was the Park and Rec representative to that plan, which is why they kept it. I don't think there is actually 2, but Jane was the Planning Commission rep, so we shared it.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't then have 2 spots to fill on that.
There's certainly not a need for 2.
Okay.
It's a big group of reps who oversee.
That's helpful. Thank you. So then that brings us to 1 second. I'm trying to get everything onto one page if I can. Oh, I think I've got it. So,
Would you like to know what's left?
I have, yes, why don't you go ahead?
All right, I have the Boston Bid, Bicycle Advisory Committee, Clarendon Alliance, Columbia Pike, which is CPRO. Let's see, we got Housing Commission, JFAC, and Neighborhood Conservation, NCAC. And Pedestrian Advisory and Roslyn Bid.
And did you say Arlington Alexandria Joint Formula Run Task Force, or is that?
I did not say that only because I'm not sure if it's still active. I don't know if it's still going on, or perhaps Matt or Anthony can jump in on that one to clarify.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say I wasn't aware. So I'll if you know something, I'll let you chime in.
No, we'll need to follow up on that. I don't know anything this evening in terms of the status, if that's still ongoing or not. So we can double check and get back to you if that's a spot that needs to be filled.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I am going to actually share, now that I've got this Word file put together, I'm just going to share it. I apologize for the small text, but this is about as good as I could do. That then, I believe, brings us to Commissioner Peterson. Did you just?
No, I'm next.
You're next, Commissioner Lantelmi. Thank you. Okay.
Right. Pedestrian advisory.
Pedestrian advisory is Lantelmi. Thank you. Commissioner Patel?
I would pass, except for I'm going to ask Commissioner Steinberger if I can join with her on the Langston Boulevard Alliance.
I don't have a concern with that by any means. Would love to have you. Can we have two people?
I don't know.
Can someone answer that?
Ms. Johnson, Mr. Fusarelli?
Well, I personally would say to check with the alliance themselves to see if there's a need for it, since we've not had that before.
I think my other concern is if you're both there as the liaisons and Commissioner Lantelmi is a board member, that makes for 3 people.
Right.
That's a very good point. So maybe I can just be your shadow backup, Sarah. Otherwise,
that sounds good.
And so I will pass.
So we will list Commissioner. I'm going to list Commissioner Patel as the alt on this. Ms. Johnson, I'll send this Word file to you when I'm done with it, so that you can have it to compare notes if you so desire.
Sure.
That brings us to Commissioner Steinberger.
Pass.
Commissioner Bagley.
JFAC.
Commissioner Peterson.
Pass.
Commissioner Schroll. At this point, I'll just remind people that it's okay to pass. We have 2 people who aren't present tonight. Some of these things I don't think all of these need someone. So don't pick something instead of passing if it's only, only because there's still some blank spaces.
Pass.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Schroll. Commissioner Gearin.
Sorry, was that for me?
Yes.
I've got 3. I'll pass.
All right. I'm also going to pass. Back to you, Commissioner Lantami.
I'll pass also.
Commissioner Patel.
Pass.
Commissioner Steinberger.
Pass, sorry.
Commissioner Bagley.
Pass.
And Commissioner Peterson.
Pass.
All right, board is good. So that then brings us to, that may be the end of our agenda. I believe that's the end of the agenda as I have it. Is there anything else for the good of the order, or is there anything else from Ms. Johnson or anyone else on staff?
No, I have nothing else.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It is 8:19. I'm looking forward to a year from now, the next time we are able to adjourn so early in the evening. So thank you all, and have a good month, and have a good evening. I'll talk to you soon. We're adjourned. Have a good evening.
You need a gavel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do need a gavel. Yeah. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah.
Good night.
I'll give
you.
you my
Good night.
hammer. That's what